Okay, so what we're going to do is this is a review for exam 4. And there's 20 questions. So let's just go through the types of problems you'll see. So for this one, they're just asking you to simplify. So remember, these are rational expressions. They're already factored. So I'm just going to cancel stuff. All right. So 7 goes into 7 once. 7 goes into 35 5 times. I've got x plus 5, and I have x plus 5 down here, but it's squared. So I can cancel 1 here and 1 up there. Okay. And what I've got left is negative 5 times 2x minus 7. Okay. On the top and on the bottom, you just have x plus 5. And you're done. The next one you've got is the same type of deal. You've seen this before. So kind of just look at it from the point of view. It's one problem with like 3 parts. So 5 goes in here twice, 5 goes in here 5 times. You've got 3 on the top and 5 on the bottom. So cancel 3 up here, 3 down there, leaves you with 2 on the bottom. And cancel 7 up here and 7 here, leaves you with y to the third there. Okay. And then what you've got left is 2 over 5x squared y cubed. Okay, you're done. All right. This one you need to simplify, but you're going to have to factor it first. So you've got 4 terms on the top and the bottom. So try to factor it by grouping. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to factor the top and factor the bottom separately. So factor out p. That leaves you with 4r minus 7. I'm going to factor out q, but I'm going to make it negative q, okay, because the third term. So that's going to give me 4r minus s, okay? Now I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. I'm kind of splitting this up a little bit because of the way that I'm recording. So I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. So factor out p, that's going to leave you with 4r minus s. Factor out q, that's going to give you 4r minus s. Okay, so on the top, I'm just going to factor out 4 minus s. That's going to leave me with p minus q. On the bottom, it's going to leave me with 4r minus s and t plus q. Okay, and then I'm just going to cancel those 2 guys out. And my answer is p minus q over p plus q. Okay, and you're done. This one here, what I'm going to do is, remember when you're simplifying rational expressions, I tell you to write them in descending order of degree. So got negative y plus 8 over y squared plus 2y minus 8. Okay, so what I'm going to do on the top is I'm just going to factor out a negative because I don't want that lead term to be negative. So that's going to give you that. And then I'll factor the bottom here. I just need 2 numbers. When I multiply them, I get 80, whose difference is 2. So I'm going to go with y minus 8, y plus 10. Okay, and I know that the 10 is the positive number because the middle term is positive. Okay, now just cancel what you can cancel. Get rid of that, get rid of that. You get negative 1 over y plus 10. Okay, and you're done. So the next one you've got is this guy, where I'm just gonna cancel stuff and see what I got left. Okay, so let's 15 goes in here once, 15 goes in here 4 times. Okay, and I've got y squared here and y cubed here. I got x cubed there and x squared. So the only thing I got to do here is just write this down, is add those two together. Add these two together. Okay, you're done. The next one you've got is I've got to factor these. These are all rational expressions, but I've got to factor all 4 of these, okay? And then see what I can cancel out. The first one here is that I can factor out a 2, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That's going to give me x squared minus 2x minus 3, okay? I'm going to go ahead and keep factoring now. So this is going to give me, I need 2 numbers. When I multiply them, I get 3 whose difference is 2. So 1 and 3. So I got x minus 1 or plus 1 and x minus 3. Okay. And on the bottom, I got x plus 10. I don't have to factor anything there. This is the difference of squares. So this is going to be x plus 10 and x minus 10. Okay. And then on the bottom, I'm just going to factor out 2x. That's going to leave me with x minus or plus, minus 1. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and see what I can get rid of. All right. So I can get rid of these 2's. Okay. And get rid of an x plus 10. Okay. But that's going to be it. So what I've got left is x plus 1 times x minus 3 times x minus 10 on the top. And on the bottom, I'm going to have x times x minus 1. Okay, and I'm done. So let's go ahead and do this part here. Okay, so I don't have anything to do with, can't factor this. Okay. But since I'm dividing fractions, I've got to multiply. Instead of rewriting this, I'm just going to factor this, but I'm just going to make sure I put it on the bottom. So I'm going to factor out x. That's going to leave me x minus 3. Okay. And then I'll just put 5x on up here. All right. Now you look to see what you can get rid of. So you can get rid of this guy, and this guy, and get rid of this x and that x. It's going to leave me with 5 over x plus 3. Okay, and I'm done. All right, this is a little bit longer, but it's basically the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to factor this, which is the difference of squares. So 3t plus 1, 3t minus 1 over, factor out a t at the bottom. Let me do a t minus 8. Okay. Now, remember, this is division, so this, I'm going to go ahead and factor it. I'm going to put it here on the bottom because I'm going to keep, change, and flip this over. Okay. So when I do that, you'll probably have to AC this thing, but I'm just going to go ahead and factor it. So this is going to be t, and then I've got 3 and 1. We've got plus, plus. Okay. Here I need 2 numbers. When I multiply them, I get 24, whose difference is 5, so 3 and 8. And remember, the 8 is going to be your negative. So it's going to be t plus 3, and then t minus 8. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, again, just cancel, get rid of what you can get rid of. So I can get rid of 3t plus 1. I can get rid of t minus 8. I can get rid of t plus 3. Okay. And the only thing I'm left with is 3t minus 1 on the top. And then t on the bottom. Okay. So next one you've got is identify the LCD. Okay. Well, just the lowest common denominator. So you just need a number that 3, 6, and 8 are going to go into. Okay. So a number that 3, 6, and 8 are going to go into is 24. All right. So 24 is going to be your LCD. Okay. For this one, it's a little bit trickier. What I've got to do is I've got to go ahead and do some factoring. I don't have to do anything with that one, but I do have to factor this one. So this is going to give me y times y minus 10. Okay. And this last one here, this is going to be y minus 10, but it's going to be squared. Okay. Because this is a perfect square trinomial. All right. So remember with these, you're looking for like what I call does and don't. Okay. What do they share? Okay. Well, when you're looking at it, they don't really share a whole lot. These two share a y, and these two share a y minus 10, but nobody kind of shares everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say, okay, well, what do they share? All right, so they share y squared. Okay, or all right, share a y. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, but remember when you're looking for the LCD, you're looking for the highest exponent. Okay, so when you're looking at y and y squared, okay, the one with the highest exponent is this. So this is y squared. Okay, just wanted to explain if you didn't remember. And then I've got y minus 10, and I got y minus 10, but this is squared. So I'm going to use y minus 10 squared. Okay, because everything will go into that, right? And that's your LCD. All right. So your next one is this one, where you've got there's the denominators are the same. Okay, so when you're adding or subtracting fractions, the denominators need to be the same. So really all you're looking at is what's on top. And what's on top is x squared plus 11x plus 24 all over x plus 8. Okay, now just take a quick one and say, well, can I factor that? Yeah, you can. So I need two numbers. When I multiply them, I get 24, and when I add them, I get 11. So I'm going to go with x plus 3, x plus 8, all over x plus 8. Okay, cancel these two guys out, and you end up with x plus 3. Okay, and you're done. And this one doesn't have a common denominator, so we got to get one. So I need a number that 6 and 8 are both going to go into. Okay, so that's going to be 24. We're looking for my LCD, so we're looking for 24. Okay, this has y squared, that has y, so we're going to use y squared. All right. Now remember, all I need to do is, what do I need to multiply 6y squared to get 24y squared? Well, all I need to do is multiply the top and the bottom here by 4. Okay. What about this? All I need to do is multiply this guy, the top and the bottom, by 3y. 3y. Okay. And when I do that, I get 44 over 24y squared plus, or no, we'll just leave that for there, minus 3y over 24y squared. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to write these, add these two together and put it all over there. So it would be 44 plus minus 3y over 4y squared. Okay, and we're done. All right, so last bunch here. Okay, so on this one, number 15, all we really need is, they're asking us for a restricted value. Okay, remember, you don't want 0 in the denominator. Okay, so I'm just really looking at denominators here, and in particular, I'm just looking at this guy. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to set W4 equal to 0. Figure out what's going to make it 0. So add 4, and you get W is equal to 4. So that's my restricted value right here. Okay, because if I put 4 in here, I'm going to get 4 minus 4, and then I get division by 0. That is uncool in their world. Okay. So the next one you've got here is to solve. Remember, this is just like solving a proportion. So all you're going to do is cross multiply. Okay. That's going to give you 9x is equal to 315 times 7. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to go ahead and multiply those right now. What I'm going to do is go ahead and divide by 9. Okay. Because what I can do is I can see sometimes you're able to cancel some stuff. Okay. And that's really what I want to do if I can get away with it. Okay. So 9 is going to go in here. Let's see here. 9 goes into 315 because we got 3 plus 1 plus 5 is going to give you 9, and 9 goes into 9. So it's that little what they call rules of divisibility can really help you out here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is divide 315 by 9, and if you're doing this in your head, you know, it's kind of it's a little taxing, but you know, sometimes you don't have a choice. Let's see here. So 9 goes into 9 once. 9 is going to go into 315. $35 times. Okay, and then we've got 35 times 7 is going to give you 245. Okay, and we're done. Okay, should have done that ahead. All right. So this question here. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so this question, what it is we've got a bottle of liquid pool chlorine has a recommended daily dosage of 12 ounces per 10,000 gallons of water. At this rate, how many ounces would be needed in a 22,000 gallon pool? Okay. Remember, this is a proportion. Just make sure that if you have ounces over gallons here, you need ounces over gallons here. Okay. So once you've done that whole cross multiplying deal, okay, you're going to get 12 times 22,000, okay, is equal to 10,000 times X, okay. Now divide by 10,000, okay. you'll get x is equal to, well, remember, you can do some canceling here. Okay, so I can kind of get rid of, if I divide the top and the bottom by 1,000, okay, that kind of gets rid of the big numbers there, okay. And then I've got 10 goes in here 5 times, okay, and 10 or 2 goes into this 11, and that's going to give me 143 over 5, okay. And if they want you to, like, they don't want to accept it as a fraction, you can always do the division there, okay. But I would just say leave it like that, unless it's asked, specifically for that, and then they would have to ask you to round it. Okay. For the next one, you've got convert the temperature using the appropriate formula. Okay. So what they've given you is that they've given you 40 degrees Celsius, and they want you to convert it to Fahrenheit. So just look up there, and when you get these things, and say, well, which one of these is equal to F? Well, this one here. Okay. So plug 40 into Celsius there. Okay. And then do the math. Okay. So 5 goes in here once, 5 goes in here 8 times. You get 9 times 8 is 72. 72 plus 32 is going to give you 104. Okay, you're done. All right. So the next one you've got is they want you to basically convert meters here. So the distance between 2 trees is 8 meters. How many feet is this? Okay. They're going to give you a conversion. So they tell you that 1 meter is equal to 3.3. Okay. So remember, when you get these things, remember, whatever you start with, okay, you're going to feet. Okay. So you got meters up here, so you want meters down here, because when you multiply these guys, okay, you want to be able to cancel those out. So it's really important that you pay attention to the units, because they're going to tell you whether you've set it up right. If the units cancel out and you're in the units that you want to be in, then you've set it up right, and you just put the numbers. Okay. So 8 times 3.3 is going to be 26.4 when you round. Okay. And you're done. All right. So that's all there is to it. All right. So just make sure that you understand the methodology in a lot of those. Okay. Not so much being driven by the numbers and the letters. Okay.